Hi, welcome to the Whitestone Journal, and today we're going to talk about humility. Hi, this is part of a series on humility, obedience, and charity. Today we're going to talk about humility. Now, if I look up in Skeat's Etymological Dictionary, which is this right here, it will say that humility comes from the Latin word for humility, which is in fact not very helpful. If we look at other Latin words that are similar, we find humus, which is soil, the earth, and this is and another word in Latin that means essentially to be low. Now, it probably says something about our society that when we say to be low, we think unimportant, insignificant, and really that it's bad, that it's a terrible thing to be low. But for a long time, a lot of people did farming, and it was really important. So for them to get food out of the ground was not a bad thing. To be humble is to be close to what's real. Think of it that way. To be humble, to have humility, is to be close to the earth, close to what is most real. And in fact, the earth is life-giving. We pull our food out of the ground. So to have humility is not about thinking badly of ourselves or to in some way put ourselves down. It's staying close to what's real more than anything else. There are no illusions in farming. The crops come up or the crops don't come up. If they don't grow, all of the illusions and fakery around that they're really growing won't help. There's nothing you can do. If the corn's not on the stalk, there's no corn on the stalk, people. So it's about being real. It's about being close to the earth, solid, grounded. It's real. And that reality, that's what humility is. Now, where do we get the idea that it means putting ourselves down? Well, the problem is that because we often have illusions about ourselves or illusions about our situation or others that are around us, to realize that things are not as rosy as they appear is it's a come down. It is a coming down from that point of view. It is lower than the fantasy. It's lower than the fakery. But what are you going to do? You either want reality or you don't. So if we're going to have humility, it's going to mean a commitment to reality. Let's talk a little bit about personal change. When we want to make personal changes, why do we do that? Why are we making the change? It will be better for everyone. Are we making a change because it'll be better for us, more comfortable for us? We'll make more money. I don't know. The idea is if we're making personal change of a sort because we want to feel better about ourselves, then we need to look at it and say, okay, am I really making this change because what my behavior is harming someone else? My behavior is harming me? Or do I just want to feel better so that I have a better image of myself? And we need to talk about this. In being humble, it means reality. The problem is having an image of ourselves at all is a problem. I mean, in a sense. I mean, we talk about self-image and self-esteem and all that. But some of that implies that we're judging ourselves, that we're determining our value based on whatever we observe. Or, if it's vanity, we're actually determining our worth based on what other people appear to think of us. Because we really don't know what other people think anyway. So when we go around chasing after getting other people to like us, we really don't know if they like us or if they're just pretending to like us. Vanity is almost like an illusion on an illusion. It's an illusion about who we are and what we look like, plus it's an illusion about what other people think. In humility, we cut through that. We just say, you know what, I accept. I am what I am. And if I'm going to make a change, I'm going to make a change because there's a benefit to the change. It's going to make my life better or it's going to make somebody else's life better. There can be aesthetics. There can be an ideal of the beauty and an ideal of what is really good. And we may want to perfect ourselves in some way. So for instance, I would like to get my mile back down to a better time. Well, if I choose to go after that goal, I may change my habits. I may run more so that I can get my time down. But that's something that I just choose to do. And if I can run faster, it makes me a better runner, or run longer, or in less time, sorry. It makes me a better runner. It doesn't necessarily make me a better person. I may feel better about myself in the sense that, wow, I've actually been able to run faster. That's great. But, that's a pretty low value compared to everything else. It might be big in the realm of running. It may be really important to me. It's pretty important. But it's not important to me as a human being that I be able to run the mile in a certain time. I don't know if I'm hoping that makes sense. So if we're making a change so that we will feel better about ourselves, or so we will look better to other people, or so we will think we look better to other people, that is fundamentally a problem, and it's not humility. In humility, we just want the truth. We just want to see it as it is. And if that means that there's a fault, if we look at ourselves in humility and we see a problem, we don't necessarily, and preferably we don't say, oh, I've got this problem. I drink too much, therefore I'm a bad person. Or, I haven't been able to get rid of my drug habit, therefore I'm a bad person. Or, I have a C average, oh, I'm a bad person. It doesn't work that way. If we have a problem with alcohol, we have a problem with alcohol. It doesn't change the worth of the person. It may change our ability to function in society. It may change our ability to function intrapersonally. But it doesn't mean that somehow we're less than human, or that we're not, certainly we're not everything we could be, but look at the thing that we're dealing with and not necessarily make grand judgments about our value based on that. Anyway, I hope this helps. Humility, close to the earth, close to what's real, standing on firm ground, not trying to fly around pretending to be a bird, simply being what we are, standing on the ground and and keeping it real. Thank you.